I'm a loser, I'm a winner, I'm the sad one who's to say, I'm the faster, I'm the favorite, I'm the left out, run away. It's the wrong way you think today, what a chance you did take today. It's the madness your drive creates, what a chance you did waste today.
From the historic Richmond, Virginia to the just as historic Darlington, South Carolina, the Right Lane Cup Series arrives here at Darlington Raceway, where our drivers will take on 92 laps around this very unique, very treacherous, and very exciting racetrack. The Darlington stripe is well known here, and the drivers are sure to get them today. Our fans have been packed here. They've been camping out all weekend, waiting out all these issues, and we will be racing here today. I'm sure everybody's very excited to get this very exciting race underway. Let's go trackside and get your starting lineup. Lane Sanders and the Domino's team have been able to put their Chevrolet on pole with Zachary Fitzwater and his Foster's Ford to his outside. Then it's Charles Sanford and Ben McDonald, teammates both of them in row 2 with Aiden Smith and Ryan Reed in row 3. DJ Curtis and Alexander Rowe in row 4 with Griffin Maple McDermott and Jeffrey Finguy, the 2 FBM cars, in the top 10. Then it's Jesse Turner, Christian Vargas, Peter Onjack and Nick Breeding and Ryan Griffin with Stephen Colon, Logan Cloud, Julio Caesar, Henry Thomas, and Taylor Frey rounding out your top 20. Then it's James Ellison, the Season 1 winner, Tim Fiegel, Wyatt Junkman, Derek Hamill, Nick Gunther, Alexander Phoenix, Vince Freeze, Andrew Thomas, Stanley Andrews, and Samuel England rounding out your top 30. It's Carson Green, Joseph Shrigley, Angel Gutierrez, RJ Bishop, Justin Henley, Luke Martin, Noah Hart, Diego Yepes, Cody Lamas, the rookie, with Daniel Voles rounding out the top 40. And the rest of your field is Alexander Mateo, Angela Delvecchio, and Luke Evans, who they found some infractions on the windshield of that number 99, and they sent him to the rear. So let's go ahead and go trackside and get the command, the fire engines, and get this historic race underway.
And Marshall, he's in the Songwriters and Rock and Roll Halls of Fame, an American legend, John Fogerty.
Rock and roll! Drivers, start your engine!
For Lane Sanders, this has got to be a great morale booster for that whole team. He's getting a pole after a top 10 last week. Zachary Fitzwater, another driver who got a top 10 last week. He'll be on the outside pole. Now, these two are going to be hungry to get a win. Fitzwater hasn't won in a long time. Lane Sanders has never won. But, of course, they have a very long race ahead of them, and they have some very hungry cars behind them, a pair of Breeding Enterprises Toyotas. We'll find out who's going to win here soon. The pace car is off. Lane Sanders, Zachary Fitzwater, they're both going to bring us out of turn number 4 onto the start, onto the front straightaway. Bring us down. We're in the restart zone. Sanders and Fitzwater bring us to the green flag. We're racing here at Darlington. The 7th round of the season is underway. Coming out of turn 2, this is a very tricky spot. Looks like everybody makes it through okay. Sanders, half a car length ahead of Zachary Fitzwater. Charles Sanford is going to pull alongside the mighty Fitz, but Lane Sanders coming out of 4, he is going to take the first lap lead. He's going to get a bonus point out of that. Sanders leads. The top 3, top 4 now single file. Ben McDonald dropping like a rock. He lost 3, almost 4 spots in that one corner. He just did not get a good time. A couple cars in the wall back there. That was Christian Vargas. Ben McDonald had a terrible lap. He is all the way down to 9th after he started this lap 5th. Top 5 now coming onto the around. Lane Sanders leads another lap, but he's not been able to get away. That is Zachary Fitzwater behind him with Charles Sanford in third. Aiden Smith out of the spa camp. Another good run for him going after a top 5 last week at Richmond. DJ Curtis, another driver with the top 10 last week, is here. He's up into the 5th spot. Jesse Turner, last week's winner, is up here in 6th spot. Ryan Reed, a good qualifying effort with Alexander Rowe, both of whom desperately need a good run this season. There's Peter Onjack and rounding out your top 10. Griffin Lapel McDermott up here in the 10th spot. Ben McDonald continuing to lose spots in that 16 car. Just not having a very good handling race car. I believe that was Finn Guy who got in the wall. Jeffrey Finn Guy on the outside line. The drivers have said this is a very single-file racetrack, but there are a lot of opportunities to pass on the end of these straightaways, but it is a treacherous course. You do not want to get caught on that outside line because you might hit the fence out of turn number 2. As you see here, Turner is alongside Rowe. Rowe's going to take that spot from Turner. Meanwhile, Zachary Fitzwater has been put back to 5th. Sanford gets to 2nd, and that lets Lane Sanders open up a 6/10 of a second lead on Charles Sanford. Sanders off into turn number 1. Sanford, though, has clear racetrack to that 0-1, so he's going to try to run him down. Aiden Smith the 3rd, but he's got to deal with, wow, what a shot for the 57. That was Ryan Reed. Slid up into turn number 2, and look at all the spots he's losing going into turn 3. Oh, look at the side of that number 57 Loves Dodge. That thing is wiped off the map. They're going to definitely have to fix that on the next pit stop. That's the danger here at Darlington. That turn 2, it jumps out and bites you. Such a sharp exit. One small mistake like we just saw Ryan Reed make, it can lead to disaster. Sanford, though, has caught up to Lane Sanders. Now a car length separates the top 2, but it's not just Sanford gaining on the Domino Chevrolet. Aiden Smith, his teammate, is up here running him down. DJ Curtis and Zachary Fitzwater. Fitzwater has come over the radio to his team, and he said he's starting to feel a little free. Honestly, I could not ask for a better adjustment here at Darlington. A little free is a lot better than feeling tight. You do not want to be tight here at Darlington, especially as we just saw with that turn 2, but also this turn 4. A Darlington stripe. You can earn your Darlington stripes very quickly. A lot of jostling just outside the top 10. Ryan Griffin has moved into the top 10 in that Little Caesars Honda. McDonald, though, trying to get that spot back. Ben, our pit reporters asked Ben McDonald's team what was going on. They said that there was a lot of debris and stuff on the outside of the track, and Ben McDonald just picked all of that up. Dirtied his tires, but now he's cleaned them off, and now he's going back at it. But he's got a lot of ground to make up after starting 4th in this race. Aiden Smith to the outside. He's going to get passed by Alexander Rowe. It looks like he's going to get passed by Jesse Turner. If he can get a spot in line here, no, he's going to power off the corner. He's going to hold on to he's going to fall to 6th, maybe 7th. Turner lunges it into turn 1. Man, this is not good for Aiden Smith. He's going to lose a ton of spots here. He's got to be careful coming out of this corner. He made it out just fine. But he's got a whole host of cars behind him. All the way back to 17th, 18th, 19th. A whole lot of cars. If he cannot get in line, he could fall all the way back to 22nd. That's Nick Breeding. We'll see what he's able to do here going off in the 1. Ben McDonald blows the doors off the 40, and he's going to lose even more spots. Yeah, you do not want to be caught on the outside. Maybe Vargas, his teammate, will let him in. No, he won't. Oh, Freeze got in the wall there. That was Vince Freeze running 19th. He's going to fall back. The damage does not look that bad. Not as bad as the 57s. But up front, though, we have a fight for the lead. We've got a change for the lead. Charles Sanford has taken the top spot away from Lane Sanders. Sanders has fallen back. He's almost lost 0.8 of a second. off of Sanford. Curtis, but there is a load of blue cars right here. Right in front of Jesse Turner. We'll see what they're able to do. But Curtis might have a run on Sanders. We'll see what he takes into turn one. He's going to look. He's going to peek. Sanders runs that low line, though. He's going to hold off the Curtis Racing Pontiac. Coming onto the back straightaway. Fitzwater is going to try to regroup here, it looks like. Looks half a lane lower on Curtis. Sanders is able to get clear, but he's lost another tenth of a second. Charles Sanford has set sail. And he is going to try and run away with this. Mind you, we are set to have 2 pit stops here. They believe we'll have 2 pit stops. Cut this race into thirds. So we'll see what Sanford is able to do. If he can theoretically put out enough of a gap, and then pit at the right time, he should be able to win this race. But Lane Sanders has said not so fast. He's cut another 9/10, another 11/10 off of this lead. That 0-1 has regrouped. Sanders said that he had really burned his tires up trying to keep the 19 ahead of him. He's taking it easy. He's really been able to get back to it, but you see DJ Curtis has fallen to 5th, and I guess that's the positive thing about being up here. When we're so spread out, you can afford to lose a spot or two, and you won't fall back like the 40 did. You see Jesse Turner has fallen. Jesse Turner has fallen a lot. There's Turner back to 14th. My goodness, we were just talking about it. Behind his teammate Logan Cloud. Cloud might have let him in. But we were talking about Aiden Smith. Smith finally found a line. That car went from 3rd to 16th in about 10 laps. That's what happens if you're not able to get in line here at Darlington. You can lose over a dozen spots. As he falls in behind Season 1 Darlington winner, James Ellison. That Crossroads Racing team, they know how to get around here at Darlington. Looking up through here, there's Julio Caesar. Had a very bad start to the season, not dissimilar to his teammates' terrible start to his season last year. Ryan Reed. Caesar trying to put up some good results. Christian Vargas, pole sitter last week, came home with a top 5. Trying to put that juicy fruit Chevrolet back into the top 10 on his slow march to the front. This start of the season of Vargas was full of teething troubles. That's how Spa president Danny Dill described the 39 team, because that was the 41 car of Dunlop Pratt. They've won last year. And Christian Vargas and that team, it has been a slow burner, but they have been able to climb the point standings, and a good run here would help them a lot. But up front, we've noticed Lane Sanders has run down Charles Sanford, and he's not alone. Fitzwater and Rowe have both caught up to Sanford. We'll see it. Sanders tries into 3. He's going to stay in line. Sanders trying to get up to Charles Sanford. Sanford, this is one of the best runs I've seen Charles Sanford have. He qualified 3rd. We talked to most of the top 5 during qualifying, and we asked Sanford if he thought he had a good run. He said, if we're able to clear early, I think this car is going to be at its best in clean air. You see Fitzwater making an attack on Lane Sanders. Sanders holds that line, though. Fitzwater ducks back into 3rd. I think the biggest loser out of that exchange was Alexander Rowe. He's lost about 2 car lengths on Fitzwater. Fitzwater tries again. Sanders is going to have to let him go. Fitzwater to 2nd. Rowe to 3rd. Sanders has fallen back to 4th. Zachary Fitzwater trying to get back through here. We'll see what Rowe does. Rowe got a good turn 1 and 2. Fitzwater's going to ride in line behind the 19. We'll see what Fitzwater, is he going to try the same move that he did on Sanders the lap prior? No, he's not. He's going to stay in line, but that's going to bunch the top 4 up. The top 4 is separated by almost 0.4 of a second. That is incredible racing here at Darlington, but I think that's also indicative of the fact Charles Sanford might have abused his tires a little bit. That 19 car, they are still about 10 laps or so away from a pit stop if they're going to split it into thirds. So they're probably warning Sanford over the radio, do take care of your tires. If you have to let him go, let him go. That's exactly what they told Sanford. But Fitzwater has not been able to find a way around him. The mighty Fitz is having issues passing Sanford. And here he goes. Fitzwater to the inside. He's going to get alongside Sanford. Rowe, the 500 winner from last season, is going to try to get in line. Sanford battles back on the outside line. That's going to bring DJ Curtis into this fight. Sanders looks outside. Fitzwater will take the lead. Rowe will take second. Sanders tries to keep DJ Curtis behind him. Sanders trying to avoid the wall. That was close. Zachary Fitzwater will now take the race lead, passing the likes of Alexander Rowe. That's 1-2 for these drivers. That's going to put Charles Sanford back to third. As we mentioned, that was a difficult run of things for the 19 team. Fitzwater, though, down to second, down the back straightaway. He's doing an incredible job, I think Fitzwater is. But he was timing his moves right, and he's now gotten up to the race lead. And Alexander Rowe, we have to talk about Alexander Rowe. That car has had we want to talk to miserable starts of the season. This car was top 5 in points this time last season. Rowe was barely in the top 20 in points coming into this race weekend. They just have not had the speed. We talked to his crew chief at the end of Richmond. We asked them what the deal was, and they said we don't have the speed compared to our other teammates. But Rowe, I think, is trying to get – we just need a good run is what the crew chief said. And I think Rowe is going to try to get a good run. If a second place, even if they can't win the day, a second place will go a long way. The building consistency and morale with the team. And I think that's exactly what Rowe is doing. Going to go through the field. There's Curtis, Sanders. That's your top 5. Ryan Griffin has moved up to 6th. Ben McDonald is back to 7th. Henry Thomas is in the 8th spot. Griffin Lapel McDermott is 9th. Peter Onjak, another solid run for the Onjato camp. Peter Onjak comfortably in the top 10 in points, doing a great job. Christian Vargas has moved his car up to 11th. Logan Cloud is still holding 12th. You see a change for position. That's Ellison in 13th. Aiden Smith 14th. Stanley Andrews in a 15th spot. That's going to put Jesse Turner back. Taylor Frey's 16th. It's going to put Jesse Turner back to 17th. Julio Caesar is 18th. Wyatt Junkman in 19th. That team desperately looking for a good run. Nick Gunther rounding out your top 20. A good run for that rookie out of the Bishop Family Racing Organization. There's Jeffrey Finguy in 21st. Tim Fiegel in 22nd. Vince Freeze 23rd. That's another team that has not had much speed, and we can see why. He's hit the wall again, and that 9 team, heavy damage to the side of that Dormer Ford. Joseph Strigley up to 24th. Noah Hart's in this field. He's in 25th. Nick Breeding back to 26th with Cody Lamas 27th. Justin Henley is 28th. Carson Green is 29th. Stephen Colon is in 30th. Luke Evans came into this race. Top 5 in points. He's 31st. The points leader, Alexander Phoenix, is 32nd. Derek Hamill's 33rd with damage to the side of his car. There's Ryan Reed. We saw that car pound the fence earlier. It's knocked the toe out of that 57 car, Rita said. Now that's going to take lengthy repairs to fix. Samuel England in 35th. Alex San Mateo is 36th. There's Luke Martin, 37th. RJ Bishop in 38th. Angel Gutierrez with damages in 39th. Diego Yepes is in 40th. Then it's Daniel Voiles, Andrew Thomas, and Angela Del Vicio. And that number 85 car is rounding out the field. This has been the Right Lane Cup Series, Season 3, race number 7 at the Darlington Raceway. Zachary Fitzwater leads over Alexander Rowe, Charles Sanford, Lane Sanders, and DJ Curtis will be right back right after this.
Where'd you go? I just did a bumper run and took the lead.
I ran out of dip.
Dip? I'm racing neck and neck, and that's all you can think about is dip? You need to get your priorities straight.
Look at the bumper given to the 75. Caesar to the inside. He's going to take second spot.
For every turn, a twist. For every start, an untimely finish. For every win, someone who loses it. For every number, a nation. For every celebration, a brawl. For every split second, years of work. For every heaven, a hell. For every good old boy, a good old girl. For every curse, a prayer. For every ounce of order, a jug of chaos. For every twist, there's a turn.
Okay, now, what do you do next?
Floor it?
Yes. No, no, don't floor it.
Floor it?
No, don't floor it.
Okay, floor it!
Sunday is race day. That's why the Domino's 555 deal is perfect. 3 medium pizzas for $5 each. I have a pizza here for Mr. Right Lane.
That's mine. You're right. Mine would be the king of right lane.
Really? Mine would be for the Emperor of Right Lane.
Mine would be the czar of right lane.
The Grand Poobah of Right Lane.
General Velissimo of right lane.
El Presidente de Right Lane.
King Daddy.
Sanford has re-inherited the lead. Welcome back to the Right Lane Cup Series, Season 3, race number 7 at the Darlington Raceway. While we were away, we had pit stops, and Charles Sanford has taken the lead, so this race will definitely be a two-stopper. Sanford is your race leader. Alexander Rowe is second. Zachary Fitzwater's third. Ben McDonald has been able to get back up into fourth. Then it's Logan Cloud in fifth with Henry Thomas, Aiden Smith, Christian Vargas, and Lane Sanders. There's Julio Caesar rounding out your top 10. Tim Fiegel, the rookie, is up to 11th. Curtis has fallen to 12th. GLM is back to 13th with Ryan Griffin. Stanley Andrews will round out your top 15. Peter Onjak has fallen out of the top 10. There has been a lot of jostling through the field, as a lot of these drivers had very good or very bad pit stops. Some drivers had to come down and fix damage, and we've had a car in trouble, and it was the 57 of Ryan Reed. Reed had to stay extensively on pit road to fix the toe on that number 57, but Reed is not out of this race yet. A single caution will put Reed back on the lead lap. You see they dented out the scrapes on that side of that car. They said they fixed the toe. They managed to fix the toe on the 57. So they'll put, if they can get a caution, Reed will get the lucky dog and get back on the lead lap, and their race will not be over. But Sanford has scooted away. He's got about 2.2 seconds on Alexander Rowe, who has been fighting Zachary Fitzwater for the second spot, but Ben McDonald is moving back forward. He's put that 16 car. They've made some adjustments on the 16 car during that round of pit stops. They tightened it just a tad, and now the 16, you see he is flying. He's been the only one making up time on Charles Sanford, his teammate. Everybody else just seems to be losing time, but he's now hit a 2-car roadblock because those cars, that second and third ahead of him, we'll see what he's able to do with it. Speaking of roadblocks, Logan Cloud has got a whole host of cars behind him. That's a lot of GMs behind him. Henry Thomas trying to get a good run in today, the Daytona 500 winner. Then you have a trio of Spa cars. Man, Logan Cloud has got to be fearing for his life here, because that is going to put him, this line of cars would put him outside of the top 15 in a heartbeat. Look at this line of cars. All the way back to 15th. That's Stanley Andrews. One mistake out of any of these guys can put them back many spots. You see Cloud he's running a lane higher, and that might be good for, that's not good for his tires, absolutely sliding them like that. It is not good because Henry Thomas is already up to his back bumper. We'll see going into 3 what Thomas is able to do. He's closed right back to the back bumper of the 89. Pair of Spa cars going at it. And then you have Christian Vargas fighting off the 75 of Julio Cesar. Cloud still doing a very good job, and we've noticed the positions that we got to change for second spot. Zachary Fitzwater gets back around the 10 of Alexander Rowe, loses 2/10 in the process, but they are starting to reel in Charles Sanford. Got to be wondering if Sanford is trying to save his tires for the next run, or if he simply burned them up trying to get away from Fitzwater, and now he's starting to lose time for it. But now 2nd through 4th has spread out over about 5/10. But man, you saw it there. Fitzwater gained 3/10 of a second that time. Fitzwater is coming. He's got the fastest lap times right now. And he's got Rowe and Ben McDonald in tow. This whole group of cars single file. Finn guy in the wall again. That's the second time this race the 92 has clapped the fence. See damage on the side of that Nintendo Ford. A great dogfight back here to get in the top 20. It's Junkman, Ellison, Turner, and Onjack. A lot of cars trying to stay single file. You see there's some teammates changing positions. That was Luke Martin and Cody Lamas. Some cars, and this is where you could tell the good cars that have no handling. Nick Breeding's one of them, 33rd. Stephen Cologne, 30 in the 66, 34th. Sam England in the 35th spot. That's the 24 team. His teammates are all in the top 10, and he's back here. Same for Breeding. His cars are all in the top 5. And then you probably have the cars back here that are damage repair cars. Hamill in the 98, Gutierrez the 52, and Freeze in the 9. We've noticed, though, Rowe has gotten back around Fitzwater. And now they're continuing to set their sights on Charles Sanford. They lost a little bit of time right there. Fitzwater blew back by Rowe. Ben McDonald tried to get right to the back bumper of him. He's going to squeeze Rowe outside. Rowe's got to be careful. Oh, wow, Rowe. Alexander Rowe caught the wall hard. After being pinched up there. Oh, that damage. Oh, no. The side of the number 10 has been wiped away. And that's going to do a lot of, that's going to hurt that 10 car. Ben McDonald squeezed Rowe right up into the fence. He ran him right out of the groove. So I don't think Rowe had any chance to avoid the wall unless he completely stopped. Don't know what that was about. But Fitzwater has continued to set sail after the 19 of Charles Sanford. And you see it there. We're going to see now they're in the same picture. Fitzwater gained more time going into turn 1. Now, Fitzwater, what can Fitzy do? Rowe, I'm looking at Rowe back here. He has not lost that much time after colliding with the wall, after Ben McDonald shoved him in it. I'm sure there's going to be some conversation after the race about that. Looking back through the field, though, Aiden Smith seems to have been the first car to make his mistake. That's going to put him outside the top 10. That's going to put DJ Curtis in. That's going to put Tim Fiegel in the top 10. A great run for the rookie out of the Lake Effect camp. He's the second of the 3 cars. After winning last week, that team is in 6th. They're in 5th. They're in 10th, and they are in. They're in 19th. A great run for Lake Effect. But Fitzwater started to feign a little bit. I believe Fitzwater came over the radio. He said he burnt his tires too much trying to run down that man, Charles Sanford. Isn't that a shame? Now he's got to cool them down and make another run at him. But we'll have to see out of Sanford. Sanford has been on cruise control ever since the pit stops. Doing an amazing job here. Trying to keep that car under pace. And that would be an amazing thing for Charles Sanford. That Sanford would be bringing Breeding Enterprises their 3rd win this season in 7 races. Mind you, Ben McDonald won. Nick Breeding won at Atlanta. You had Ben McDonald who won at Sonoma. And Charles Sanford, he's been in this car in one form or another since day one. He drove when this was the 20 car. All the way back in season 1. They changed to the 19 last season. Busch Light, the whole Anheuser-Busch Corporation has been very supportive of Charles Sanford. Their PR people have said Sanford is a great ambassador for this organization, but he's under attack. Fitzwater looking to dive on the 19. I think it was to spook him a little bit. Fitzwater getting to the back bumper of the 19. He cooled his tires down and he set sail after the Busch Beer Toyota. A pair of beers are going at it at the front of the field. The Foster's Ford. Fitzy, a very good spokesperson for his branding. You see it there. He gained a bunch of time. Now he had to back off a little bit. We'll see what he's able to do. Fitzwater trying to keep within range, but Ben McDonald has been able to run down the top 2. He's within a second of the leaders. And then Rowe has been able to get around the 57 of Reed. He's back to 4th. Lane Sanders is back up to 5th. He's put Logan Cloud back to 6th. Henry Thomas to 7th. Christian Vargas is up to 8th. And then it's Tim Fiegel, DJ Curtis rounding out your top 10. A lot of shuffling going on through the entire top 10 as pit stops are getting ready to happen. We're on lap number 60 as Charles Sanford is your race leader. He's holding on to that over Zachary Fitzwater, Ben McDonald, Alexander Rowe, and Lane Sanders back in 5th. This has been the Right Lane Cup Series, Season 3, race number 7 at Darlington Raceway. Sanford is your race leader, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Yeah, it's great being driver of the wacky racer, but it has its downside. How about this free ride day? Are you ready?
I guess so.
Hey, man, what are you anyway? Hey, Greg, that dog's got some weird fluid leak.
Hey, look at me, mamacitas. Are you sure this is safe? Is this speed legal? Let me out of this thing. Whoa! Oh, mama.
I would have definitely put in more solid fuel rocket propulsion with nuclear transmitters and electron-induced injection systems. What you have here is so... Get out of the pretty bus. You even need a...
Yeah, I guess they are kind of pretty, especially this one.
Correct.
about 30 seconds, I'm going to be enjoying this. Famous Foster's. Try it next time you're having a beer. Of course, you can't actually drink in commercials. That's fair enough. This is one taste that's worth waiting for. How long to go, mate? 5 seconds, Paul. 4, 3, 2, fade to black.
Foster's. It's Australian for beer, mate.
Use the Force, Luke. Let go, Luke.
Get that camera out of my face!
Felicitations, malefactors! I am endeavoring to misappropriate the formulary for the preparation of affordable comestibles! Who will join me? I don't get it.
The leaders are on pit road. Welcome back to the Right Lane Cup Series, Season 3 at Darlington Raceway. Charles Sanford's brought Alexander Rowe in the latter half of the top 10 down the pit lane. That's going to put Zachary Fitzwater in the race lead. Cars started pitting last lap, and they will be able to make it for the rest of the race here. Looking to see who came down. Rowe came down. That's RJ Bishop. There's Turner, Onjack, Logan Cloud, and Tim Fiegel. There's Derek Hamill. There comes Zachary Fitzwater with Ben McDonald onto the pit lane. I'm interested to see what they'll do to the 10 car. If they're going to try to fix that car, and they are. They're going to try to fix the 10 of Alexander Rowe. Not good for the Rowe team. He's already back. That was Turner that was in the top just in 19th. That's going to put Rowe at least there. Noah Hart coming down pit lane. There's the Fitzwater. There is the Finn Guy cars coming in with identical pit stops. Ryan Griffin is here. That's Stephen Colon. Henry Thomas is down and away. Julio Caesar. There is Luke Evans. Caesar, they're also having to fix damage on the 75. Lane Sanders is down pit lane with the 15 of Julio Caesar. Or the 15 of Taylor Frey, excuse me. There's DJ Curtis. Here comes Vince Freeze out. There is Gutierrez and Breeding in. Alexander Phoenix, Andrew Thomas. There's the 7 down and away. Cody Lama, Shrigley. And I believe if we can find him, there went Charles Sanford. There's Charles Sanford in 6th. Believe he'll be able to cycle out to the race lead. Rowe likely would have been with him if they didn't have to fix the damage. And Gutierrez is going to slot right in the way of Fitzwater. Oh, whoa! Whoa, no! Gutierrez and Fitzwater collide! Oh, what was that about? Oh, Fitzwater's going to be raging over the radio. Ben McDonald's the second. He's going to cycle out to second spot. That's going to put Breeding Enterprises 1-2 with Vargas and Cloud. It's going to put Aiden Smith back in the 5th. Fitzwater wiped the right side of that Foster's Ford off. Man, look at the damage on that thing. Tim Fiegel up to 7th. Henry Thomas. Peter Onjack running out your top 10 with Griffin Lapel McDermott. I cannot believe that. Gutierrez came out of the pit lane and just collided with Fitzwater. I don't get what that was about. But now Gutierrez, oh my goodness, Gutierrez got it worse than Fitzwater. I'm shocked that car's still able to run. Looking back through here. Oh, what's this? Trouble for Tim Fiegel. The 43 car is on pit road. Issues for Tim Fiegel. No, that's such a shame too. He was in the top 10. You're going to bring that car to a stop and do a 4-tire change. That's going to put him a lap down easily. There is the 75 of Caesar. Freeze is there with Andrew Thomas. There's Ben McDonald, 3 seconds back from his teammate, with clear racetrack for a whole straightaway. If he's able to do anything, he's got 20 laps to do it. Man, what a topsy-turvy turn of events. Wait a minute, what happened to Peter Onjak? There was issues on the racetrack. Peter Onjak was in the top 10, and he's disappeared. Trying to find him. I don't know what. Peter Onjak had broken. Peter Onjak is off the racetrack. We missed it. Onjak retired the car. They broke a camshaft on the 5. Oh, that's another car that was having a good run going. That was Peter Onjak. Such a shame for that team. Ben McDonald has lost time on his teammate, though. The top 5 are all together now, 3rd through 5th. That's a pair of Spa cars again with Logan Cloud. Pair of lap cars. There's Fitzwater. I'm interested to see what Fitzwater is going to do to Angel Gutierrez when he gets back up here. And I'm also interested to see what Alexander Rowe is going to do to Ben McDonald when he finds him after what that little stunt Ben McDonald did a few laps before the pit stops. Lane Sanders up to 8th. Ryan Griffin to 9th. GLM's back to 10th. Luke Evans. How did Luke Evans get up here? That 99, that little Debbie's Honda, was in 35th last time we saw him. And that car, not only did he leapfrog, he leapfrogged. They're saying he was 25th after he cycled out. He's now cut his deficit to the leader in half. And he could get a top 10 out of this. I'm impressed with that 99 team of Luke Evans. They've continued to impress me all season long. That team, top 5 in points. They might get the points lead after this week if everything shakes out right. Looking back through the field, there is Alexander Rowe back to 17th. After a top 5 run got thrown away from contact with a 16 of Ben McDonald. Ben McDonald, though, continuing to lose time. He's lost another 7-8 tenths of a second on Charles Sanford. Not what that team wanted. Perhaps he's taking his time. No, he lost another second. Ben McDonald, I don't think is saving. I think he just does not have the pace. Ben McDonald came over the radio and he said the car is now too tight. He can't get the thing to turn. In the corners, he's trying not to knock down the walls in turn 2 and 4. And that would do it. And the only way that he could get back up here and fix that is if we were to get a caution. Because that's the only way. Ben McDonald, you saw he gained a little bit of time there. But they would have to come down pit road. And I think at this point, everybody would come down pit road and and do adjustments. They would have to adjust the 16 car. Take a little bit of wedge or a track bar adjustment on that car. And that's something with these right lane Cup Series cars. They can adjust. They have a special system installed in these cars where they can adjust the track bar and the wedge or they can adjust the track bar on the fly. It's not much. It isn't much of an adjustment. There's another issue. It's Andrew Thomas. That could be your caution. The Tubi Honda, that is Johnny Bravo, is up in smoke. And that car, I don't think it's going to make it back. That could bring out the caution. He's slow. He's slow on the apron. He's out of the way of the leaders, though. Such a shame for that team. They were trying to do a great job, but that car is going to be, it's going to be another bad finish for the 29 team after they started off so well in the 500, and now that it just looks like issues after issues for that new team. Meanwhile, Sanford has lost 4 tenths. He's lost 5 tenths of a second to Ben McDonald. That might have been a smart idea for Ben McDonald to lay back a little bit and let Charles burn him stuff out, and now he's going to set sail after him. Sanford's lap times have been getting better and better. We'll see this time by what that's going to do. Coming around. He lost more time. So maybe that lap was just Ben trying a little too hard. He had it let out of the gas. Coming back around. It's coming to 9 laps to go. 9 laps for Charles Sanford. This has got to be an unprecedented thing of people getting their first career wins this year. Jesse Turner last week, Ben McDonald, Charles Sanford would add his name to the list of Right Lane Cup Series winners. Coming back around, it's 8 to go. Sanford has continued to lose time. Now Ben McDonald has lost it again. Ben McDonald gains time only to lose it. That has got to be... Perhaps Ben McDonald is just... I couldn't explain it. Ben McDonald still doing a great job. You see a pair of spa cars in 3rd and 4th. Logan Cloud, a great day for this car, is in 5th. Henry Thomas is in 6th. Fitzwater, the damage starting to take its toll. Fitzwater says there is smoke in the cockpit. It's not bad, though, the team. And I'm assuming it's from that damage. It's probably rubbing something. Maybe a tire. But that would be even worse, Fitzwater to blow a tire. But he's got smoke in the cockpit. They're telling Fitzwater to nurse the thing home. He doesn't have but 10 laps. Lane Sanders is in 8th. There is Ryan Griffin in 9th. GLM and Luke Evans have been fighting for this 10th spot. Luke Evans looks like he's going to take it. No, he's not. Here comes GLM back. Meanwhile, though, Sanford has continued to put time on Ben McDonald. His lap times have started to improve. Caesar has not made any moves on him. Julio Caesar, that has got to hurt for Caesar, too. They apparently had issues on the pit stop, which put that car way behind. And it's put him a lap down. He'll end the day in 37th. With 5 to go, this has got to be something amazing for Charles Sanford. They're telling Sanford to back it down. You don't need to do anything. I don't even think he can back it down and worry because Ben McDonald is back here. And he's still not making time. I think Ben McDonald knows it's just going to be a second place run for him, which is still good. That's going to give him a valuable amount of points. And another top 5 for Christian Vargas. Another top 5 for Aiden Smith. Great runs for them. Henry Thomas has gotten around Logan Cloud for 5th. And that's going to put Logan Cloud back into the 6th spot. Still a great run for the 89 team. They need a good run. Coming back around, it's going to be 3 laps to go here at Darlington as Sanford has run down RJ Bishop. I think Caesar sees an opportunity for a spot. He's going to pressure Sanford into going and getting it. Coming down the back straightaway. Off in the turn 3. Sanford, though, on cruise control. He's put another 10th on the 16. 2 laps to go at Darlington. Sanford just does not need to make any mistakes. Of course, he's sandwiched between 2 lap cars, so it's not just him that doesn't need to make any mistakes. He needs the 4 and the 75 to give him some space a little bit. And Charles Sanford, as we said at the top of the show, he's been here since day one. He's had several close calls. He hasn't had the success of his teammates down the years. Coming around, he's going to take the white flag. 1 lap to go for Charles Sanford. But any driver in the garage will tell you, Sanford is one of the hardest working drivers in the field. And that team, he can almost coast. He doesn't need to do anything. Coming through 3 and 4 for the final time. I think there's going to be a lot of Busch beer shedded in victory lane this evening. Charles Sanford finally is a winner in the Right Lane Cup Series. Sanford wins at Darlington. Ben McDonald had a late race charge. He'll end up in second. Aiden Smith will be third with Henry Thomas fourth. Christian Vargas fell to fifth. Logan Cloud is sixth with Fitzwater seventh. Lane Sanders eighth with Ryan Griffin ninth. And Luke Evans, an impressive rebound. He'll get a top 10. For that man, though, Charles Sanford, an amazing run for that entire team. They've done an amazing and incredible job. Congratulations to Charles Sanford, to Breeding Enterprises, and to Busch Beer on their first wins in the Right Lane Cup Series. Thank you all so much for watching this long endurance style race. Charles Sanford is your race leader, and we'll get you your results here in a moment.